Monday. It's a beautiful Monday. We are a bit late, but we have managed to come. Father, we thank you for this wonderful opportunity once again. May your holy blood and the precious one cover us. Whoever is watching this video, whoever is going to listen to this video, and your Holy Spirit leads us in whatever we are going to speak, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, the Son of living God. And everyone says, Amen and amen. Welcome. This is Testimony TV. Once again, it's a Monday. 20 what? It is 23rd of September. That's 2024. Thank God for your life. Oh, He has preserved you. So today we're going to talk about something very important, and it's touching. I know most people are experiencing this. Most people are undergoing such circumstances, and we shall see how to come out of it, because really it has affected the body of Christ. Many people have lost lives. Many people have backslid, and a lot of things. So today we're going to talk about the spirit of devourer through these false prophets. How we could use these false prophets to attack Christians financially. There are different types of attacks people you may talk about, and people, I think they know few, but there is what we call financial attack. If you are financially attacked, my dear, you can fail even to minister. You can fail to serve God, because that attack will cause a lot of diversions in your life. I always tell people that Christians do work. Christians work so hard. They are hardworking. Though they are lazy ones, but let me tell you, Christians are hardworking. They do work. People wake up at 5 a.m., they go at work, they come back midnight. But what pains most in your hard working, you work a day, you work night, but there is nothing at the end of the day you are showing. It's not that you are not paid, though there are others who are not paid, but you are paid. You are paid in full amount. But there is nothing you can show. As soon as the money lands on account, the devourer spirits, they have already lined up problems, opened their mouths to take everything. So it's so painful, like with the children of God, working so hard, but there's nothing we can show. So in most cases, we could use those false prophets. When you go and visit them, you give money, because there is no way in a false church where you will go and you don't give money. Whether you will give it direct or indirect, or you can buy anything. So they make sure there is a point of contact which is got from you. Point of contact from you. Once they get that point of contact, let me tell you, life will not be easy. Life will not be easy. Some of you, let me tell you, I'm speaking this. I know how it pains. I know how the devil has tried to bring us down financially. Most Christians, they are in financial crisis. Most financial crisis. And that financial crisis cannot even allow you to seek God. It can't allow you to read the Bible. It can't allow you to go to church. You are ever in thoughts. Debts are like debts. But it's like some of you, you went to the false prophets. But also, there are limitations in our families. Limitations in our families. So, they bring what we call financial attack. Financial attack, limitations. There are families where the devil has set limit upon your life. You can't go beyond this limit. You can't go beyond 5 million in your life. So the moment you exceed, you go to the moment you are about to approach the 5 million, my dear, everything collapses. Everything collapses. So we must go back and discover. When you want to fight what we call a financial battle against the devil, there are things you must do. Financial battle. Let me hope you are taking notes. Financial battle against the enemy. That's the devil. There are things you must consider. One, you must sit down and do what we call the spiritual mapping. Spiritual mapping of your family. These are only things that when you are saved, it's over. It's easy to speak it, but to put it into consideration and in action, that's another different process. So you must do what we call spiritual mapping upon your life, first of all, upon your life. After spiritual mapping, because in the spiritual mapping, you discover a lot. One, where did you move in those false churches? Because any false church you went to, you left a point of contact. And the devil uses false prophets or pastors, and also the relative. These are the two people mostly the devil use when he's attacking you financially. There are two high category or kind of people the devil use to attack you financially. I said one, these are false pastors or ministers. Those are false ministers. Two, your family, relatives. Those are the two people. When the devil wants to attack you, he looks at these two. Some of you have moved in very many churches. Two, relatives. These are the two people the devil uses. So, financial crisis, especially in Christians, is the problem. let me tell you, it's still the big challenge. So we end up not giving God time. No, let me tell you, you will get opportunities to work. You will get opportunities, but the devil makes sure you work hard. You get little. 2, you work, but you don't have God's time. Those are the things you must know. You work, but no time with God. Every time you are occupied with the work, especially you people who are in the West countries, you must work 24. You just have few hours to rest, but most of the hours you are at work. So you are always busy with the work. It's not bad to work because God himself was the worker. So we must work. But how many years have you worked? If I'm to ask. And what are you showing? How many years you are working or you have been working, and what are you showing? So there is the problem. And this, there's no way you'll go to the pastor to do magic. You must first sit down and discover yourself. You must ask yourself a lot of questions. A lot of questions. Then that's what I said, spiritual mapping. So from that spiritual mapping, you'll be able to know what went wrong, where to start from. Some of you get like 3 million a month. 3 millions a month. Some of you earn weekly. A week you can get even 1.5 million. But now where? You don't have even a plot of 2 million. By the time the money comes on the account, the problems have lined up. Problems are more than the amount you're going to get. Every month it's like that, constant, and you don't discover that there's a problem. Why every month? When it approaches the end of the month, problems, they begin to line up. They begin. So you get the money, you start. In fact, you can't stay with the money within throughout the day. You just see that the money has arrived on the account. You just see the figure. But how the money is spent, you cannot explain how the money is spent. You only remain with only transport. So the spirit of devourer is at work in Christians, and the devil knows that that's the only, or it's the one of the most suitable ways he can have access to Christians. Because the devil knows ministry is money. 2, when you have money, you minister. There are people when they lack, they're not minister. When they have a financial crisis, they'll not go to church. They become down spiritually. Someone can't read even a Bible because of the financial attack. You can make losses each and every day in your business. Losses. So, the devourer spirit, I know your teachers have done a great job teaching you about devourer spirit in the book of marriage. They have done it. They have taught you a lot. But what they are teaching you, when you don't bring in church, when you don't bring the tithe, when you don't bring the offertory, then that's when you'll get or you'll experience the devourer spirit. But there are people who bring, but still they experience the same thing. They do experience the same things. So we must wake up. We must wake up, do what we are supposed to do. I always tell you spiritual mapping, I'll teach about it. We need spiritual mapping in our lives. Spiritual mapping helps us to discover what we didn't know. The limitations of the family, you'll discover why you keep on failing, why you work hard, the limitations of the family. So some of you, these are limitations. The family are limited. The devil had put a limit. You can't marry. That's in the family. You are approaching 40 years. You have not yet broken that bondage, that limit. You have to break it. You cross over. But if you're still operating within that limit of not marrying, let me tell you, you will be there up to 70 years. The only thing which you can do is to give birth from home. But being in your home with your husband, it becomes a great problem. So there are limits in families. There are people who can't go beyond 30 years. You find a family, when they approach 20, 25, people die mysteriously. Mysteriously, people do die. So it's the same thing with what we call family background, family limitations, financial limitations. So devil has a lot of point of contacts from us, a lot from the relatives, point of contacts from the false prophets. And those point of contact, they will not just go because you have confessed Christ. No. There's a price you must pay. As also they paid their price when they went to the sorcerers and so on. Also breaking that limit of financial. You must stand. Let me tell you. You must stand. Some of us, we think that when we confessed, when you accepted Christ, things are over. It's not like that. You were deceived. I'm here to tell you the truth. The day you confessed Christ is the day you started the battle with the devil until your last breath. And that battle is going to end when you last breathe. When you have your last breath, that's the battle will end. But even though you are on oxygen, still the battle continues. But we thank God that we are more than conquerors. You are going to overcome those battles. But it's not like by sitting. You have to involve yourself in the battle. You have to involve yourself in the battle. So the battle is Lord is, but also there is a part for you. When you seek God, it's going to direct you what to do. When you seek man, you are going to continue with the problems. When you trust in the Lord, it's going to be faithful. When you trust in men, you are going to continue with the disappointments. So we must do. Let me tell you, I'm appealing unto you today. Go and try what we call spiritual mapping. After 1 month, you'll come and tell me. You'll inbox me or you'll give us a comment there. Spiritual mapping. Spiritual mapping. But some of us, we thought when we got so saved, things were done. So we are just waiting for Jesus to do everything. No. Before he does what you want, there's something you must do. The price was paid for everything. But you have your role as a Christian, and he has his role as God. Once you fail your role, it's not going to work. Once you do your role, is faithful. He must work. He'll work for you. So, I've discovered that the financial attacks, bondages, is one of the most common attacks within Christians. Within. There are people who don't have access to finances. They are there. No, the devil attacks in different ways. He can put limits to resources, limitation to resources. But there are those who have access to resources, but they can't do anything. You be in the factory, you be in the company you work for 20 years. The time reaches, they stop you or they chase you, but you don't have even where to start. The 20 years you have been in the company, you don't have where to start. You didn't do anything. When you get some money, like, let me go and buy a piece of land. You buy a land which has land wars, quarrels. You end up in courts, spending a lot of money, and you lose. When you start a business, it collapses. You get people to help you in the business, they end up bringing the business to an end. So anything you try to, things are not working out. That attack is very dangerous. I'm telling you, we have different attacks. There is a spiritual attack, mentally, there's attack on marriage, attack on children, attack on your health. But let me tell you, attack on finances, the devil has used it so much. Very many pastors, many, they have compromised. Many pastors, they have left ministry because they lacked support. They thought that things will work out easily, but things have delayed. So someone ends up changing into a false pastor. Where you prophesy and tell people a lot of things which they are not going even to receive, so that they give you money. When you come to church with the gospel of repentance, speaking the truth, people will not give you. So he ends up changing the truth because of that. I remember when I was still working for the devil, there's a topic I'll teach. I'm asking for God's grace. It's about financial, how the devil attacks, Christians, makes them poor, or is giving the church, like the tithes, the offertories. How could the devil see that? How could the devil see the giving in the church? That's when I'm going to explain how could the devil see the giving in the church. That's how I'm going to explain why ministers are poor. Most ministers are poor. Why? When we give to be seen. That's the problem. Christians give, but we give to be seen. You give a lot because you want pastor to recognize you. And there are people, when there's a contribution in the church, he waits. When they have failed, please, we needed this amount remaining, this amount remaining. He waits for that moment, then he comes. He wants that praise. So the devil is not afraid with that kind of giving. He's not afraid. You give to be praised. He does not fear that. You can give even sacks of money. You can give sacks of anything. He doesn't fear, and he has no problem with that. He leaves you, he looks at you. But there's another thing also the devil does. The devil has hardened Christians' hearts of not giving by introducing his false pastors who have caused harm on people, and people now they hate giving because of what they have gone through. Someone has walked into 20 false pastors. They have eaten his or her money. She has no even that appetite of giving. That is the devil's trick. He connects you to false pastors. Then from there you say, from today, all pastors are false. No, they combined us together. Say, all pastors are false. I always hear people when I move, all pastors are. Someone said, when you want to start a business, open a church. That's what people say. When you want to start a business, open a church. Yes. They think that when you open a church, when you open a ministry, that is money. And even people think, someone told me that Jamil will have a lot of money because that on YouTube there is a lot of money. I told him, okay, I want to help you open a YouTube channel so that you get that a lot of money you are talking about. So there is another thinking that devil has put in people's mind. No, devil to bind you financially, he has very many tricks. Very many tricks the devil has used to prey on people's minds. When you open a church, make sure. When God called me, I remember how God called me to ministry. Because I'll come with that what? I'll come with that testimony. How God called me into ministry. It is so interesting. Into ministry. I'm going to tell you how. It's not all about what you have. It's not all about how much. It's not all about where you stay. When God calls you, no matter where, no matter how you are, He has called you. And the heaven recognizes you. And even the devil fears you. Let me tell you. People think that God calls you into cities, you build a big church, you have the projectors, everything. That's when the heaven recognizes you, know. There are people who are footing, but the heaven knows them more than even these pastors who are driving expensive cars. So a call is not all about where, how, when, and no. That's how God calls us. So I will share that. But I was talking about financial attacks. When I was still working for the devil, these are the things he told us what we should do to Christians. One, make sure Christians they stop giving. Eh? Make sure Christians stop giving. Two, when they give, you make sure they don't give out of their pure heart. This topic I'm going to do it immediately after I'm going to teach TV. I'm going to share with you some information. The things the devil instructed us to do to Christian, so that we may keep them in poverty. Let me write it here. In order to keep them in poverty or financial crisis. There are things, and one of it is we talk about giving to be recognized. Two, I'm just giving some list. Giving to be recognized, that's another thing. Two, stop giving. People have stopped giving because the devil has connected them to false people. And those false people, they have armed them. You are full of wounds and you stopped doing the principle of God. Let me tell you, financial is all about principles. That's why these other religions, like Muslims, are very rich. Others, they are not in witchcraft. Let me tell you, the truth is, some Muslims, they are not in witchcraft, but they are rich. Why? This God, when it comes to financial, is all about principles. When you do God's principles, for him is going to bless you. He is going to bless you. It's all about principles. So, let me go back. I told you, you must sit down and make what you call assessment. The spiritual mapping. That's what we call it spiritually. Assessment, spiritual mapping. So that spiritual mapping is going to help you to discover the limits of your family, limits the devil had put on your life. Because we have limits, let me tell you. First, we used to see people with limits. There are families who are entangled with limits. They can't go beyond the district. Every family member is within the district. The moment you try to cross the borders of the district, you go in the city, they will bring you back. When you are bad off, so sick, you get in troubles there and you come back. There are limits. You can't go beyond your country. You can't go beyond your country. The moment you try to cross the borders of the country, let me tell you, the problems you'll get there, you can even be imprisoned. You can be imprisoned. So those are the limits we are talking about, which we must break. The devil can leave you, you go abroad, you work, but you spend there 10 years, you come the same way back home. Because you did break the limits. So your going is not a problem. He leaves you. You go. You enjoy the flight. You enjoy the flight. But you come back the way you went. Besides that, you can go and work, send money home, send money home. By the time you come back, you don't find anything. When they have eaten everything, you have been sending to people who have been eating it. So you remain the same person as you went. You can go and work and come back. When you have built, you have started a business, you have constructed, within a year, when you have sold all, you don't know where the certain disease will come from. You don't know where problems will arise. You end up what you bought from the money you worked in, from the abroad. You sell it, and again you start to staff or processing again to go back. Those are the limits we are talking about. You buy assets, but any time you try to buy assets, you buy fake. You buy fake. If it's a land, fake. Anything fake. You buy a cow, you put at home, it dies. All of the cows, or all of the, like if you buy a cow, chicken, or what, a goat or pig, all the others they survive, yours dies. And they like dying when they are pregnant. You are about to multiply, it dies. It dies. So those are the limits we are talking about. Which you sit down and start to make a spiritual mapping, you will realize that these things are the same repeating in your life. The same way you failed in village, the same way you failed when you went to town, it's the same thing you are failing when you are abroad. So it pains for you, it pains so much when you spend 10 years in England, in UK, in America, in Asia, in Australia, and after the end of the 10 years, you come back the way you went. People are paid, limited people are paid, but the way the devil is staging problems after problems, taking all your finances, you may not like it. So that's all what I wanted to share with you, that let us do some spiritual mapping upon ourselves. That's one of the ways we shall set ourselves out of these false pastors. That's how we shall set ourselves out of the hands of the devil. Spiritual mapping. It will guide you. It will guide you what to do. So that's all what I wanted. I want us to take a break. After here, I'm going to Dish TV. I'm going to continue with the testimony. Yesterday, I gave a testimony for a few minutes. I gave a testimony for it was 40 minutes. I was not feeling fine. I was not okay. So I ended up stopping there immediately, and even I didn't go to questions and so on. So I want to go there today now, so that I may catch up. I might catch up with what I started yesterday. So I'll be there for 2 hours. I'm going to start within a few minutes from now. Then I will go up to 1 p.m. So people, yesterday I talked about, there's someone who promised us to give us software, but he never sent. Enoch, you never sent us software, and you promised us. So I said there's a phone which I was using to edit videos, but this phone got spoiled. It got spoiled. So it's hard sometimes editing on laptop because also laptop, its software is outdated, and the phone is easier because you can be moving as you edit, can be moving, but the laptop needs when in one place. And so we need this phone to be replaced. I beg. I'm just requesting you people, we replace it, because sometimes we use it for some recordings. So like now I've used that phone, but you can see the pictures not well. It's not good to that standard. But I hope when we replace this phone, we shall have a very clear picture. So I talked about that yesterday, and I didn't get any response. I know, but help me, you get me that what that phone. So we are going to teach TV. Mariam, why are you lashing us to teach TV? Why are you lashing us to teach TV, Mariam? People have questions here. There's one asked about universal church. That I'll talk about universal church, but it's a false church. It's a false church. I've answered you. Universal church is a false church. The phone I want is common, because when we are buying the phones, we who do videos, you look at the battery capacity, you look at the picture, because I want from 108 megapixels upwards. So in Uganda, it's not in US. In US, I think in other countries, the phone is very cheap. Yeah. But here, it is sold at 1.2. At 1.2. I'll bring it here. Once we buy it, I'll bring it here. You people, you see it, because we need it. They call it transparency. So I'll bring that forward and you see it, and if after buying it. So we need it, please. Let me see. That's almost 300. 350 when you convert it. So let me ask some questions. Let me answer some questions as how much the phone I've answered. I asked you about a Fortune of Victory. The founder is Malawian, and his name is Apostle Joseph Zimba. Please help me to know about that. So you'll come. Yeah, you'll come. I'll answer you that. You'll answer that. So let me answer some few questions here, and I go away some few questions here. These people, we are 35 online. So 35, if we just get something little, we get that phone. We need that phone to use it. We need it to be used. Questions, let me see. There are no questions. Today I'm very lucky, because we don't have questions. And when you open a church, make sure you also open a school. Hey, you want me to start a church? Wow. Yeah, God is working on it. God is working on it. But you are very far. How will you attend a church from Uganda? How will you attend the church from Uganda? Is Pastor Grace Rubega false? You guys, with asking false pastors. Where do you worship? Where do you worship yourself? Where do I fellowship? I have where I fellowship. I have. I have also where I fellowship. Have you ever attacked James Kawalia's church? No. I know James Kawalia. I know him, but I've never gone there to attack him. I haven't. I haven't. So, uh, let me see. Other questions. Today I don't have questions. So I'm going there to continue with the testimony yesterday. I was a bit not well, so I did for few minutes. So I'm going to continue from where I stopped. Now, the moment I disconnect here, direct, I'm going to switch to Tish TV so that we may begin from where we ended yesterday with a testimony. Can you help with the dream interpretation? Did you desert the boss said? I don't understand. James Kawada Etusa. I'm not here to judge. Please. Let us meet at TV. Universal Church is a false church. I had lament that forced me to go to that church, but when I went there, I felt something was off. When they asked me for more, Universal Church, I'm going to make. They ask photos. They ask photos, and when you give them, they pin photos there. They have a board in their church. They pin those photos, and they have an evil altar. After they take those photos to the evil altar. So you must be careful. When you are going to Universal Church, go on your own risk. Me, I don't recommend. There are churches I can't recommend you to. So, another thing, you people, let me give you a simplest way of how to ask questions about those false prophets. Just ask, can you recommend me to this church? That's the simple way I can answer you. That's how you can ask. Just say, do you recommend me to such a church? That's how you can ask. Did you see Zari, the boss red underground ex-wife of Diamond? Yeah. What can you tell us about Seventh-day Adventists? I'll make a video about them with my experience. So the people who are good at teaching about the Seventh-day Adventist, but may I give you according to my experience. So I'll make that video very soon about the Seventh-day Adventist. You talked about spiritual mapping. I wish I can know more about it and how to do it. I'll have a video, don't worry. Very soon, we shall have a video about spiritual mapping and how you can do it. It's very easy, by the way. It's very easy. Eliza, both Diamond and Zari are evil. Thanks. Let me tell you, most of these secular artists, most of them, I want to use all, but I can use that, but most, these are agents of darkness. These are agents. Most. They come on the stages with coffins. So when you see them on the stage, sometimes they disclose what they are, but the problem is we are spiritually blind. We cannot know what they are meaning. We can't know. We are spiritually blind. So, but if you are spiritually active, these people, how they behave on this on the stages, they come with weird things. So you can easily know whom they are serving. Yeah. Anyway, let me read you my numbers, and I think Mariam has been writing those numbers there. Please, let us have that phone today. It's very easy to have it. May I tell you what I want? I don't come here to prophesy. I don't prophesy. Me, I'm not a prophet of you. I'm a prophet of myself. I'm a prophet of myself. So I can't come here and I see God is showing me you are going to America, yet you don't have even a passport. Can you repeat what you said about Kawaria? Eh, what are you looking for? You can go and listen that again. Do you use the work with Namibia? Do you use to work with Namibia devil agents? Devil agents are worldwide. And during the meetings where we could be, all agents from all the world, eh, across the world. So there is not that this is from Kenya, Uganda. You sit across the world. All of you come together in one meeting. So agents from Namibia, from US, from where you sit in one meeting. In case you are underground agent. It's a worldwide monthly conference. Please, can you expose Kenyan false pastors even if you don't mention their names? I'll do that. I'll do that very soon, don't worry. Karongos, he said he is not here to judge people. So, I think your questions are over. You people, there are a lot of things you must ask. Even concern. I don't know what's wrong with the we. You come and teach a topic, and you expect people to ask a lot of questions, but people go on different off topic. They ask you off topic, but like here, very few people have asked about what I've been teaching. So we go off topic. As we increase in number, double tap the center of the video to give it. So the number is +256. Please, let me send you these numbers. We need this phone. Yesterday I showed you this phone. Let me show you again. This phone, this is the phone I've been using for editing. You saw how it looks now. Here it is working, but now it can't do more than what this line. The phone fall from the dining, so it's now not functioning. Some buttons are not there, so I didn't want to show you that. But you know, Christians, they like evidence. They like evidence. When you don't show them evidence, because they have visited very many false prophets, so they have wounds. They have wounds in their hearts, so you must convince them. I said, let me write for you these numbers and +2. Mariam has written those numbers: 256 761 088 315. That's another number. Another number is +256 752 341 447. That is also another number. You can also first confirm it by coming into the inbox so that you may know the right person you are speaking to. All those numbers are in these names: Mugero Trafford Jamil. You can even use our official Gmail, tishtv@gmail.com. That is another official Gmail you can use to reach us. Can use that email address. It is tishtv That is our official email address. I don't know whether those messages are coming there or not. Yeah, they are coming. I prayed for someone in my church and the person fell on the ground. From that moment, they stopped me from ministering. What do you think? Why did they stop you? Why? Why did they stop you? Because they shouldn't stop you. There is a reason why they did that. Anyway, I think, how can I do the spiritual mapping about family limitations really if the things are all over? That one we shall come and teach it. I feel like some families manipulate their children into giving them, and at the time this becomes a burden. Of course, of course. You should also talk about the role of family in finances. What do you think about people opening schools and charging money? That's a business. So some schools, most schools are business, unless it's a Christian school and God has told you to open a school to help others. But you can't dictate for someone's business. It's you as a parent to ask God where to take a child, because most schools now, they are training centers of the devil. You take a child there, then the child is trained instead of being trained what you're supposed to get. They train them different things. So some schools, you must be careful with them. I talked about schools. Schools are becoming a problem in the society. So be led by the Spirit of God when you are choosing a school to take your child. I think I can't go beyond this. Can't go beyond this. We shall meet here tomorrow. So I'm going to teach TV. Then we continue with the testimony. We shall continue the testimony. So please, we need to get that phone. God. Shalom.